If you see our eyes darting around, it's because we couldn't keep a series. We managed to get like most of the flies out of here, right?
It's just it's warm in the house. They're attracted to that. We didn't do enough dishes, so it's fine. And I'll just call myself out. I'll just call myself and all of us out that sometimes we
sometimes we don't.
we stay up late doing stuff.
I might have a 3-day-old double cheeseburger in my room on a plate exposed to the air.
God, I hope not.
Wow, the flies are really starting to buzz now that we're starting to start the show.
The second we start to record, they want to be on camera. Hey, what resolution is that camera?
They're all HD.
Okay, so they're gonna
common HD, 1080p.
Oh, good. They're gonna see it then. They're gonna see the little black dots.
It's literally going to be Breaking Bad,
or the vice presidential debate. One of the two.
Yeah, that was the whole episode. Did you see that episode of Breaking Bad where it was just all them in like the meth lab trying to kill a fly?
I did not. I didn't see much of Breaking Bad, honestly. I saw like some of the first season. That was never my jam, to be honest. But that sounds like a Breaking Bad episode. Like I did see the one where like the kid was stuck with like the meth heads, trying to like break into like the cheapo
the ATM.
ATM, yeah, that was.
Oh yeah,
that's a whole and like they have the.
That was an early on episode, wasn't it?
Exactly. So like I saw a bunch of the early on stuff, but not like the later stuff.
And that the latest episode, one of the latest episodes of The Mandalorian actually kind of reminded me of that. It's just kind of like a slice of life episode where it's just, The Mandalorian. It's the one where he's trying to help the frog lady, and he's just kind of flying around trying to protect the eggs.
Oh yeah, so and we're gonna. But that's not for right now.
Yeah, but
right now we're in the lounge. I don't feel very loungy right now.
I know we got the alcohol here.
We got the alcohol.
But we don't have like any loungy stories until.
Well, yeah, we heard that you're a stalker a little bit.
So yeah, I was on break for a while at work, and for some reason I just wanted to walk around a bit. So I just walked around the store looking for a snack, and this guy like turns around, he comes up to me and says, "Why are you following me?" It's like I was a retired colonel, and I'm like, no. He's like, I am a retired colonel. Special Forces. And I was like, I looked at him and I said, I doubt that highly. I literally, I could not help myself but say this to him because
You actually said that? You didn't? That's not one of those times where you just thought it in your head?
No, I literally, I doubt that because I could tell this guy was kind of nuts or like he was just really one of those guys who just lies to cover something, I think, because he was so not like a former Special Forces colonel. He's like, I can tell when someone's following me. He's like, well, for one, if you were a colonel, you were probably like directing people, so you don't keep those skills sharp. The guy who's colonel is probably saying, okay, you guys, here's the plan. You don't have to keep like that like jungle mentality going.
When I think of colonel, I just think of the colonel from Metal Gear Solid.
Oh yeah.
Well, the guy that he would always call up on the codec or whatever.
Oh yeah, that guy was great. I have that as my ringtone. But no.
Something like that.
I can't do it. It's in my mind, but I can't get it to my mouth. But okay, he said, "Let me talk to your manager," and so I just immediately said, "Okay."
Oh damn, this is escalating quickly.
It escalated quickly, but he was not willing to wait for it. And I said, and we just stood there for a minute because she was dealing with somebody else. And really, the manager is not really in my chain of command, so to speak, because I'm in the grocery home delivery like branch of the grocery store. And she handles like the store, but I just took her to the first manager that was there.
So why were you following him?
Okay, for one, I was not freaking following him. I
feel like this is too low.
Okay, well then you should adjust it.
I'm going to adjust it.
But long story short, he said, "I know you're LP," and I'm like, "I'm not. I'm literally wearing a shirt that says grocery home delivery." Do you
Maybe that's just how they go undercover, make you think that they're a regular non-LP associate.
What does LP stand for?
Loss prevention.
Oh yeah, you haven't worked in like the service industry in like forever.
Yeah.
Sometimes they call it AP for asset protection.
Like I used to work at when Robinson's May was still a thing. I worked there in the jewelry department, and like the loss prevention is a guy who just dresses normal, and I saw him one time. He was sitting there like behind a watch display, just like doing this number, like doing the worst job of pretending to shop. Like this isn't like some 007 stuff. Like, so, but I guess it works if you're like trying to steal something. But
did he steal something? Was he successful?
I don't know. I just saw him do his thing. My job was to read manga at that point. Because like at that I was the closing shift at that time, so like no one was buying at that in the evening. I was just there to like close up for the night. Okay, so but it was just really weird. That was like the first time like in a while some weirdo had like come up to me and like told a flagrant lie to get me to like back off.
He could be a colonel. You don't know.
He is not a goddamn colonel.
Did he have like?
Look, I'm not saying like
It's not like he was wearing his stripes.
He was not, but look, when I
was
first
he wearing any sort of like military?
he was wearing
gear?
flip flops, and he looked like he was a hippie at some point in his life. Look,
maybe he's like one of those. Maybe he's from the man. Have you seen the movie The Men Who Stare at Goats?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's from that.
No, yeah, like that. But you can also tell like when there's a veteran who's that the veterans who dress like that who look like Lebowski. You can feel it like, okay, this guy's either like a hippie or he's like a veteran, but they look like a dirty hippie at a certain point, like when they go full beard and long hair. Mm-hmm. But like I could tell like from the boss who trained me like a few years back, I looked at him and was like, Marine. and then I said, so where'd you serve? He's like, oh, I was in the Marine for 8 years. I was like, boom, nailed it.
So when you saw this guy, you were like, not military.
Yeah, I was like, probably on some sort of like medication.
He was a muggle.
Yeah, that is the worst way to describe it, but yes, he was a muggle. Okay, so
there's more stuff.
There's more stuff from my work apparently.
Let's hear about your coworker.
Yeah, so there is a girl.
We were talking about her the other day.
Yes, we were, in the worst possible way. Like you guys talked a lot of shit about this girl.
No,
you were like, she doesn't deserve you. And you were like, she sounds like trash. And I didn't even say anything about her yet.
Why are you making things up?
No, yeah, I've been texting with this girl. And she initiates contact, which is weird for me.
Yeah, because usually most women don't, they just avoid
they're smart
contact
enough,
with you.
Yeah, they're smart enough to see that, nope, this is not good.
Their spider sense goes off and they're like, uh-oh, red alert,
yeah,
red flags.
This guy puts soy sauce in his drinks. I could tell. So, like,
you can say it, but we're not allowed to say it.
Look, it's a casual thing. You don't, like, scream about it. You just...
All right.
And you don't, like, call into question things about it. You accept that it's soy sauce. You don't...
When you let the cat out of the bag, you said soy sauce.
Yes. Don't react to it. It's like me saying,
I can't react to you even bringing it up.
Well, okay,
I'm pretty sure it's just crack and rum, but
because I knew how you would react. You reacted the way you first reacted, which was like, let's all stop, and now we're on this again. Again, like me just saying soy sauce is nothing. That's just me saying boom. I
thought it was just supposed to be like a silent thing that nobody mentions. It just happens, and now you're mentioning it.
Yes, you can mention it a little
bit.
Only
you're allowed to mention it?
But then, you see, this is the thing. You mention it in the wrong way. She brings up crack and rum, which now the whole thing is ruined.
How?
You bring up, like, we can't bring it up? Like, no, you're supposed to, like, go with the flow. If you just said, yeah, crack and rum, or no, yeah, like soy sauce. Boom.
Freudian.
You know what? It's a nice little gag.
Yeah.
And it's non-sexual, which is good for you because you need more non-sexual jokes.
I have plenty of non-sexual jokes.
Because I saw I did look at, I did look at Spike's.
Okay, 9.
Twitter page?
Spike's, and I looked at Spike's correspondence with this girl.
Oh, yeah.
And he's a very boring texter.
I am a very boring texter.
It's bland.
Also, she's not like
very bland.
She's also not hitting me up with, I think she's just texting me to kill time. I don't think she's interested in me in any like real way. She just wants someone to text with.
Okay.
Because like I bring up like, hey, I'm looking for voice actors, and she has no follow-up questions. Like I say,
real quick. Then it seems to me like at the end of the day, this is just one-sided. She's only interested in you in order to kill time. She's not really interested in who you are as a person.
Right.
Aspects of friendship that you could provide, like, you know, she could learn about what you're doing for, you know, voice acting, what this project is. She doesn't care.
I tell her I'm recording a podcast like tonight, and it's like, oh, there you go.
Yeah, so she doesn't care. Like, why are you?
She's probably not even listening, so we can talk mean trash about her right now.
We really should.
No,
Oh, I sent her a link.
No, we're not going to talk trash.
I sent her a link to this podcast.
Just
actually,
kidding, man.
No,
I'm just saying.
I'm not trying to
Like it just seems like
I got my hopes up for a glorious second, and
Dude, I think you still have the ability. If you, what's that book, The Secret? You just gotta like go with intention. Your
I
intention
prefer
should be.
I prefer the Notebook, honestly. If we're going with books that I like, or something from the Admiral Thrawn trilogy or the Thrawn trilogy, I prefer that.
I'm
Not
just
The Secret.
I'm gonna tell you that if it's this one-sided, then it's not even a friendship that you necessarily want to pursue. It's coworkers.
Yeah.
I would still try something.
Okay, so I got one no, one yes, and one I don't know. So we're back where I started. All right.
But you know what? You can just, here's my thing.
What
Here's
is
the
your thing?
experiment. And we'll talk about it. We'll have an update next week on this podcast.
Oh, this is potential date watch 2020. Date watch 2020.
What you'll do is you will say something that's not sexual because you seem to have no gradient between like bland. And
This is what's happening. Here are the
Overly
facts. Here are the
sexual.
timetables for my activities today. And
put something in the middle, like, hey, like, I like ranch dressing on my pizza. Just something kind of out there.
is that what's in between?
What? What?
Is that the middle ground between boring and butt jokes?
Yeah.
Ranch dressing on pizza. That's the 50% mark.
Yeah, because it could be innocent, but then you can also escalate that, to the kinds of things,
You know. What
I
else is
also want to
that you
put
in your
ranch
mouth?
dressing on something else.
See, we stepped on it. Oh, we stepped on each other's joke. Okay. Crap.
It's
That
fine.
was the same.
Well, here
We had the same thought.
When you do the video, you bring her up, and when I do the podcast, I'll bring me up.
No.
So they have to listen to us twice to get the jokes.
Okay.
Boom.
No one's going to listen to both.
Oh, listen, I made sure that my mom listens to both.
No.
So the YouTube and the pod.
Yeah. She's our biggest. She's our biggest and most loyal fan.
Actually, I think Victor's mom might be our biggest fan. So shout out to Victor's mom.
You're great.
Yeah,
We love
she
you.
always texts me after every episode that comes out.
Really.
She's like, "Oh yeah, like the COVID helmet." She's like, "I can't believe the COVID helmet. I can't believe where this world is going.
Right.
Crazy, huh?" I'm like,
Hey,
"Yeah, it's just some
I-
content we talk about."
I brought that up. Don't call him about that. Post on my Facebook timeline. We're friends on Facebook. Come on. What's
What
going
else?
on? Okay, so
I
but
don't know,
maybe
she
this
brings up-
dating thing is why I have such tension, as you've noticed.
Oh yeah, that's another thing.
And I don't think.
Well, we were talking the other day,
and I don't think that that I carry the kind of tension.
and I thought it was funny enough
No, I
to
don't.
bring up on the podcast.
No,
It is. It's worth talking about.
Okay, so
I know. I think it's worth talking about. I just don't think I carry the level of tension you seem to think I carry on my shoulders.
maybe not.
Hold on. I mean, your shoulders are kind of reaching for your ears a little bit.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What the?
It makes it like a little bit of a clang sound effect right there.
He just okay for everyone listening to the podcast. He just tapped my shoulders with a metal pen, and it made a noise I'm not comfortable with.
Yeah,
Okay.
you said it's muscle, but I don't think a human being should be that tight in their
Well,
shoulder area.
okay, for one, I do train martial arts, and a lot of that's boxing, so that is a boxer's muscle.
I feel
But-
this is how I feel you are. Like I feel like you need to sit up straight, roll your shoulders back, kind of go tip
Yeah,
your head side to side.
I think that my shoulders are very relaxed right now. I really think that I'm.
You're emphasizing.
I really feel like I'm very relaxed in the shoulder. I feel like perfectly. I just have the normal pain that shoots up my neck 24 hours a day.
Your shoulders, like instead of being back, like they kind of like go forward like this, and so you're kind of like this, and then you're like kind of neck, and then you're kind of like.
I mean, we're overemphasizing a little bit,
Kinda
but
like, this is.
So I
this is
should
how
do
you
like
are,
this
Spike.
number here, and this is great pod if we're listening as I'm rolling my shoulders back.
so my suggestion is, I don't know if anybody's able to get a massage right now. Since
I know-
California, San Diego County has moved back into purple.
Just holding my shoulders like that
But-
just like caused me anxiety.
I think it would be worthwhile to either go see a massage therapist
I
and
do-
have them work on your shoulders, or go see a chiropractor.
I do know a massage therapist, so I could possibly like I mean, like, because we spar like pretty much every week.
How much
Yeah, but,
stretching are you doing?
You can do that. You can do that.
Well, I
you can
mean,
be
my
tense
legs.
during the sparring, but like once you leave sparring, you should like
No, I have to maintain that tension, so I'm ready to fight at all times.
You
I
know
feel-
what actually will make it more difficult to fight?
Well, no, I film myself sleeping, and like I keep my hands like this when I'm sleeping. When I'm like this, I'm like. And I just
So
I just
dumb.
wake up with shooting pains in my neck, shoulders, and back.
So when you're like when you're driving, when you're making a delivery, and like
Oh, my guard is way up.
traffic is not the way you like it to be.
Well, like
When
anyone,
you're sitting in traffic, you just hit the top of your
yeah,
roof.
like anyone, I just suddenly scream, "Ah!" and then just punch the roof of the van multiple times.
God, I hope there are cameras in those vans.
No, but some kid did film me once, so there was that.
I mean,
That'd be awesome if that went viral.
maybe you would benefit from some light therapy.
You
No, just like some-
like physical.
Some emotional therapy.
Listen, I was raised to believe that is all BS. That is pseudoscience. Like my dad said after he took a hit off his whiskey and then a pull off his cigarette, that no son of his would ever do therapy.
All I'm
Then
saying
he smacked
is,
you.
Then he
Or
backhanded
even
me
thinking about it.
with his ring with the cross on it. He left another like cross shaped indent.
Yeah, I
on my
remember
temple.
that. I remember you seeing that, and I was like, "Why is there a cross-shaped indent on his face?" And it was there for
God.
like a week.
You see, it's not a holy cross. I mean, it is a holy cross, but you saw it like the longer line was going towards my ear. But
All
that's
I'm-
because
And that was in 6th grade.
all I'm
Yeah.
saying is we could use a sponsor and
a therapist would do.
BetterHelp.com.
Oh.
Excuse me, Mr. Fly. BetterHelp.com is a great outlet for people to get some mental health assistance because there's nothing wrong with needing a little bit of help.
Yeah. Are you being driven slowly mad by a series of flies that are interrupting your podcast?
Yeah, actually, personally, I am.
BetterHelp.com.
BetterHelp.com.
I actually started taking, some therapy. Taking therapy. I started having some therapy with a counselor on BetterHelp within the last month, and it's been fantastic.
Taking therapy sounds like what you say. Like if
I mean,
you have
it sounds like taking drugs.
it sounds like No, you see, you stepped on my joke. Damn it.
Uh,
It sounds like what you say when you're like popping pills. Like, let me take my therapy. It's just that your 3-a-day Vicodin habit.
but hey, if you know a good Despeasy, so I can get some CBD, let me know.
Speezy.
Oh, there's a San Diego SRDC above the 511 store. It's
Of
pretty
course, that's the one you know about above the 511 store.
And then
Spike, tell us about 511.
511 is a former like climbing apparel clothing that then became tactical clothing. I'm currently wearing one of their shirts
Some of
Their-
their pants
and
Hey, sponsor.
and their
and
shoes.
their shoes.
511, we would love for you to sponsor us
Please
too.
do.
You
Listen,
know,
you guys,
I don't really.
Is this 511?
no, that's
The other one might be.
That's Parker, and this is Tactile Turn.
If any of y'all would like to sponsor us, we would
We
appreciate
will
that as
take
well.
your money and then talk about you in glowing terms.
Yeah, yeah.
We have no dignity. Even if we don't use your service, like listen, if you sell tampons, I will pretend like I have a vagina and use them. I have no dignity.
Can we record that?
Well, listen, me
But
saying
you know,
it, yes.
you know what tampons are also good for?
Making tea.
Battle wounds.
Oh yeah, that too.
Oh.
Oh yeah, remember that in Jupiter Ascending? But that was a maxi pad, but still, it was still kind of funny.
And butt chugging. If you soak a tampon,
and vag chugging,
if you soak a tampon in vodka and then stick it up your ass, you can get really.
or
drunk.
in your-
Disclaimer, please
Don't
do this. Do not do that.
that is
Everybody do it.
okay. You spiked hard with that one. Chill out. Now look,
Do not put
Fine,
any
gosh.
item up your butt or
No,
any
whoa,
other
whoa.
orifice
you can put stuff up your butt.
when it has been soaked in liquor.
There we go. So yeah, that's a great way to bypass your
Just go straight through the mucous membrane.
well, yeah,
I like how you think our listeners are like, oh, I'm gonna try that.
It bypasses the throwing up reflex, so you can die of alcohol poisoning super easily.
Please don't do that.
Or do it and send us a picture. I don't know. Okay, man.
Thing. How do we segue into the next thing?
I don't know.
Trying to think of-
Well,
So
speaking of stupid things,
okay, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Have you been on Facebook lately and
Yes.
noticed an abundance of marketplace ads for the most lately released gaming consoles for literally like 2 and 3 times their actual value?
I've not seen that.
That I
Is
have
that a
not,
thing
but,
happening right now?
I have seen people posting PlayStation 5 and Xbox for $1,100, $1,200, and it's ridiculous.
oh yeah, I think that's always a thing. Like I think when the last series of consoles came out, they were people were selling like the box. Like they would
Yeah.
they would scam people by putting a whole bunch of text in there, and at no point would it say like this is the actual console. It'd be like, no, I get this, and at some point it'd be like this box.
It's just the box.
Like, yeah, and it's for only for $300. Like really, the console's like 600.
Instead
Wow.
of like Xbox, there's like X space box.
X.
See, it's an X box.
Yeah.
A box with an X on it.
So
Spike, are you gonna actually buy?
I'm gonna, but I missed like our buddy Mason, who is a video game tester. He of course he got it. Like the reason I have a Switch is because he pre-ordered 2, and he got them both. And he's like, "Hey, will you buy this off me?" I'm like, "You know what? Yes, I will."
I wish he had asked me that.
He pre-ordered 2 because he was he concerned that one wouldn't get there in time?
Yes, he was afraid one wouldn't get there, or so I don't know. But look, no offense to you if you're watching this, Mace, but you're the kind of guy who said like he carried like a card table with him because he's that serious a gamer, a tabletop gamer, that he has to be ready to do tabletop RPGing at all times. Like the way I keep a change of clothes, a jumper battery, and like some emergency stuff in my trunk, he kept a tabletop gaming setup in his car.
I wonder if that says anything about his personality.
A lot of stuff says a lot.
Loves tabletop gaming. That's for sure.
Yeah, like the way I drink in the morning when I don't have to work says something about my personality.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
BetterHelp.com.
Yeah.
The way that I do a podcast in a desperate bid for attention and approval from somebody says something about my
A
personality.
coworker.
So,
And the way that I maintain a hopeless relationship with a coworker, text based, says something about my personality.
Ranch dressing on pizza. I'm telling you, it'll
Okay.
do wonders.
How
So
I want
speaking-
her to taste my ranch dressing. Gotcha.
Speaking about the Xbox,
And this current year. So here, Victor, at this point in the podcast, on the video, go to the screen. For some
Okay, we're on the
reason,
screen.
people
we're already
can't.
on the screen.
Well, I mean, no, like when he's editing this together.
I don't think you
Scroll down.
So the Xbox Series X is the first video game console born in a pandemic.
Because when the Spanish flu was around, we didn't have gaming consoles, and people didn't know this apparently. And this is the thing that I don't get is who said, what I need to write 1,000 words about is how this console came out in this year. You can't just say like the Xbox is a console that's a welcome relief to like this year's like crappiness. Yeah, you have to point out like, hey, this one's the first one to come out this year, and also there's a pandemic.
It's the first video game console to come out during a pandemic.
Well, really, both are acceptable, but I think one is more honest. Like my version is more honest for how stupid this is.
Bloomberg.
But they're in this article they're talking about this. They're talking about it because Microsoft's headquarters was the country's first hotspot of the coronavirus, and they shut their doors to most employees, and they were worried about whether their manufacturers, who are mostly in Asia, would be able to deliver the hardware.
You see, that would have been a better, more accurate freaking title than Born in a Pandemic. We get that. The first console to come out this year is the first console to be born in a pandemic. But if you said Xbox's like release date is put at risk due to the pandemic, that would be a more interesting and more accurate title to what's in the text of this article.
Yeah, I know. To me, it seemed like we live in such like a content-based age where like every company has to put out content like every day. Like you need to think of something like like almost any content will do. Like we're just like crapping out content
Yeah.
all the time.
Could you not word it as crapping out?
So this is this
So like, oh,
this
video
last
game console, pandemic, boom, article.
So this last sentence in this bottom paragraph, for one star employee, Microsoft explored running a fiber optic cable underground to his home in the woods.
Okay, that's some Tim Pool stuff. Like he's talking about like running a fiber optic. How important is this employee that we have to run a fiber optic cable?
So because the games that they had planned for the console weren't the kinds that they could build on laptops people have at the house. I guess they didn't.
That makes sense. It's
they didn't send people home with hardware.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They just had to kick them out the door and all their like high end rigs. Oh yeah, because Mason does like again back to Mason. He does like game testing remotely, but he just does it like on his specialty Switch.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you're doing like a higher end next gen console, you need special equipment. God damn, you fly. So yeah, but I just thought that was a really weird and stupid way to word, and this is why I don't like the mainstream media is because they don't know how to word an article about a current issue. Apparently. All right.
It's not like this is a new.
It's not
issue.
Again.
You know, it's funny. I actually was reading something. I forget who wrote it.
Yeah.
But it was talking about Americans in particular distrust of the media started with War of the Worlds.
No, I can. Oh yeah, because
yeah.
The whole thing about the story about that is like it's kind of cool because at first there was a more popular radio show at the time that played through half of this other radio shows that did War of the Worlds. Like it ran through its runtime. So but it's like having like an episode of Seinfeld and an episode of like what's an hour-long TV show or like The Mandalorian. Like you tune into like Seinfeld for some reason and you're like, oh, what else do I watch? Okay, we'll just go over The Mandalorian, and you catch the last half, and it was like that. Like they said at the beginning, like, oh no, this is all a fiction. He was written by this guy, and here we go. But people tuned in at the very end, and it's like, oh, what? The aliens? Oh god, run for the hills!
Yeah.
I just thought that was kind of
I get that. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. But also back to more even more stupid stuff. The cavalcade of stupidity goes on. Microsoft had to tell people not to blow vape smoke, Samantha, into their Xbox Series X. Like some like Spanish guy. I think it's further down on this screen here.
He's dying.
He was like, "Here, look what I can do." And it's literally like water vapor, and that's a horrible thing to blow into like the ventilation system of your goddamn console.
Let's play this.
All right, let's watch
This guy do something stupid.
Diciendo por las redes un vídeo de que la Xbox Series X se está quemando. Entonces lo que voy a hacer va a ser apagar completamente la consola, ¿vale? Ya que está circulando de que está apagada. Entonces la voy a apagar por completo y os voy a enseñar.
Una vez
que se ha apagado esto, voy a aprovechar el ventilador, la fuerza del ventilador para echarle el vapor por aquí debajo y que veáis como da la sensación de que se está quemando. Pero en realidad no se está quemando porque no hay nada dentro de esta consola que pueda reaccionar esa reacción química. Así que vamos a esperar un segundito a que se apague. Yo de mientras voy preparando el vape y
I'm sure he's saying something interesting to his audience,
increíble que la gente se
but I don't know
en
what.
estas cosas.
But you can hear his accent though. It's like from Spain because he's got the lisp.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. So he turns it on, and then like it looks cool. Like if this were like
that's cool.
It looks
that actually does look super legit.
Cool,
but it's stupid.
How much does that cost? I think it's like $800
for the Xbox Series X.
No,
it's
like $500.
But you're blowing like water vapor into your $500 like computer that you just bought and probably had to wait in line for.
So why can't you do that?
Because you're blowing water into your electronic device.
It's a water vapor. Well, it's I mean, it's not necessarily water.
It's for the most
vapor, because generally it's made from propylene glycol and vegetable glycerin, but it's a vapor. It's a liquid.
Yeah, you don't.
What does the article say?
Well, no, Xbox came out and said
Xbox says we can't believe we have to say this, but please do not blow vape smoke into your Xbox Series X.
And also don't blow your Xbox Series X.
But this people have realized they can float ping pong balls.
It's got a powerful
but apparently it was faked.
Aw.
Damn
That's
it.
disappointing.
See,
this looks fake. This actually looks. This doesn't look real.
It does look fake. And this is the problem: is 2020 just keeps kicking you in the nuts every time you think you got something.
That's definitely not real.
Yeah, it's like what ping pong ball is green like that, like neon?
One that's highlighted by the green of the Xbox insignia inside.
You know what? I don't need your BS right now.
Just saying.
I'm just saying you're a dick.
Yeah. What's new?
Yeah, I know. Okay. But that's all we have for Xbox news. What else we got here?
Xbox.
So the robot furries are protecting a Japanese town from bears.
For one, ma'am, they're robot wolves. Okay, they're not like people going to conventions and banging in their furry suits.
That's why I call them robot furries. Because it's not a real wolf.
It's a robo wolf, exactly.
Okay.
Is there a video here?
Yeah.
Let's watch this video.
They made like it's kind of hokey, but they got the meanest looking like.
It's like a werewolf mask.
Oh, it's got lights and shit. Oh my god, I didn't see the video because I wanted to react to this in real time.
That's like not even like a real.
Okay, you have to
animal.
You have to fool a bear, not a person.
But it's like, it's created like a creature. Like it's like created a mythical being that lights up and like floats and looks like a wolf.
Like exactly. Like seriously. Oh look, it worked on the bear. Like that bear's scared.
The bear said, "Nope,
I'm out of here." I've seen this movie, Robo Wolf versus regular bear. It did not end well for the bear. It's even solar powered. It is green. This is green. This is green technology. The Japanese are 20 years ahead of us in fake Robo Wolf technology.
So it's the town of Takikawa on the island of Hokkaido.
Oh, Hokkaido, man, that's a great place.
What do you know about Hokkaido?
Oh, it's in this song from somebody.
All right, you weeb.
We should do a sushi episode.
Oh, we should.
Podcast. Just get a bunch of sushi and start.
I want sushi right now.
Being all like high class bougie.
So I have sushi.
We're eating sushi tonight. It's sushi night.
You know, we could do vegan sushi from the village too. They have really good stuff.
I would rather headbutt a bear trap than eat vegan sushi.
You had vegan ramen and you had no problem with that.
I was a good guest along on your meal trip, okay?
You've literally had it like 3 times with us.
Yes, I was a good guest every time. I have to pay taxes every year, but I don't like sit there and be like, "Yay!"
We said, "Do you want vegan ramen?" You're like, "Yes." It was delicious the last time I had it.
It doesn't mean it made me happy inside. I have to eat to live.
So does no food make you happy inside then? It's just food?
No, a double cheeseburger or a Baconator, a ground beef steak, regular steak.
Well, that's too bad because next week we're probably going to do the Beyond Pizza from Pizza Hut.
I'm going to eat a piece of that, but I'm also going to stack onto your order a regular, like full-size thin crust pizza. Don't eat deep dish. It is garbage.
It's fine. So, we watched this week a couple of episodes of Mandalorian.
Oh, Mando!
We talked about the first episode last week with Anthony when he was here.
And due to our timing, now we have 2 episodes to talk about.
It's true. So the first one, which was The Passenger, we discovered that the child, whom I love so dearly, is a bit of an asshole.
Yeah, this is like Macaulay Culkin, and like when you see him in his more sociopathic roles. So like Home Alone, we discover like these eggs that this frog person is carrying. It's the last of her line,
right?
And every time like this Baby Yoda eats one of these things, you're sitting there like, oh well, there goes another like potential for life gone.
Yeah, because I'm actually part of a couple of groups online who are talking about, is this genocide or, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, well, obviously it's not necessarily intentional genocide, but she was just.
Oops, did I accidentally genocide?
But she was saying that it's, her last opportunity in her life cycle for her to contribute to her line, not the entire.
It's the bloodline.
Species.
She's speaking in frog, and Baby Yoda doesn't understand frog.
Understand frog.
He
also
barely
just
understands basic, right?
He understands basic pretty well, I think. He's had 50 years to be around people speaking it. Yeah. But, you know, we actually, I think for the first time in this episode, saw him sort of like actually communicating. It was mostly babble. Yeah. But he was like actually communicating with Mando.
He didn't seem like he wanted to be hanging out with Mando. Like he's trying to like spread his wings. Like he's like wandering off and doing other shit. Doesn't want to really hang out with Mando anymore. He's getting
these are like the terrible twos. He's starting to run around, do his own thing. Like
terrible 50s.
Terrible 52s. Yeah.
When a baby Yoda, when a Yoda species, whatever they are, when they turn 52, you don't want to be around them. They start to become assholes. But you know what? I think we can also blame Mando's parenting because he's not always watching.
No. He's a real. The baby Yoda's gonna be a latchkey kid, in the worst way. Like here, lock the door. Here's a blaster. This is the way.
Mando's he's a single dad. You know, he's just trying to do his best. You know, take care of the kid. Keep it healthy, keep it fed, keep it safe, and you know,
you can't watch him every second.
No,
he has a job. You're right. Like you wouldn't say this about a single mother, would you? You chauvinistic and/or chauvinistic? Would that be chauvinistic in this case?
I don't know.
Chauvinistic jerk! How dare you besmirch the Mando's whatever parenting? Yeah. Now, what I like about this,
he could be more stern with Baby Yoda and be
okay,
like, hey,
like you've seen
don't eat those eggs.
And then get force choked by his own child.
Right.
Sure.
You've seen what happens to anyone who even mildly mishandles Baby Yoda.
Bad things.
They meet a terrible fate.
Well, that's because it's the Mandalorian. Like what if you are?
Like being locked in a cell with
Bill Burr?
Bill Burr, yes. Listen, I like his stand-up, but I don't want to listen to it for like the rest of my like 30-year prison sentence.
He also dropped Baby Yoda, but that's not even the worst thing.
That wasn't
that
his fault.
He's not even the worst treater of Baby Yoda in the series.
Oh, we're talking about.
That's why he didn't die. But no. So what I like about this episode is like he agrees to take like the frog lady to some planet to get a lead on more of his kind.
Was it Trask?
I think Trask. And so and we find out that now X-wing pilots are basically like highway patrol.
Yeah.
They're sitting there like, let me see your license and registrations, please. Like, run your transponder.
We're going to need you to pull over on the nearest planet.
Yeah, it's like, do you know why I pulled you over? Is it because I'm armed to the teeth, carrying unregistered passengers, and am wanted for several crimes? Yes, that's why.
And it was a cool little kind of writing decision they made to make it so that he can't go into light speed. So it was kind of like a low speed chase that they were having with the Mandalorian.
I like that. And you found out like he really like
they're like, we've got a runner.
Yeah.
It's like the slow chase to
right.
the planet.
And you find out he can't really like lie all that well. Like when he's trying to like pull one over on them, like I can't do it.
I can't it doesn't seem to be working.
Yeah.
They're like They're like, well,
really
he's about to pull on the collar of his Beskar armor, like,
I can't. It's not working. I can't.
This is like he's trying to get out of a
And
speeding
then you
ticket.
hear him going, fuck. Look, is he saying? Are you saying? Why are you saying? Fuck.
Into the mic? Shut up! It's like, stop saying it, damn it, Mando! What are you doing? It's like, wait, did you refer to yourself as Mando? Yeah, I did. So, I like at a certain point he just says, you know what, screw it, and he just dives. And this is a very scenic chase. It's a beautiful chase, right?
Yeah, it's like a ice planet.
Yeah.
To go on.
Yeah, he goes to
some people thought it was Hoth, but
No.
I've heard it's actually the same planet that we see in the very first episode, where he's arresting he's collecting a bounty on the first guy.
The guy with the glands and that great door anus shot. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, apparently it's the same planet, just like a different part.
Well, yeah, that's the neighborhood he roams around in.
Did we mention how the caves are less anal looking?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We in the last one,
first episode.
Yeah, and the crate dragon. In case we forgot to mention, the caves now have looked way less like anuses than they did in recent ones.
Anyway, back to
Listen, Sam, this is something you should like. Is like things look less like
anal,
like human orifices. Orify.
Orifices.
I like orify. Now,
let's find out.
Okay, so they crash, and he does a sweet like slide maneuver into a cave, and the X-wings fly by, and he has to fix his ship because
because it drops through the ground.
This ship like gets torn apart and put together more than any other ship in Star Wars freaking history.
Yeah, the Razor Crest has been through it.
Is that the name of his ship, the Razor Crest?
Yeah.
How come all the ships in Star Wars are like shitty? Like the Millennium Falcon is like a freaking.
Well, remember when Lando had it, that was pristine, and then like in the very chronologically in the very next movie, apparently Han Solo had been like transporting literal human feces in it. Is the only way I can see how they got that bad.
And now like Mando's ship is like like a piece of junk.
It looked good at the beginning of the season.
It was beautiful.
It was it was shiny, even though it got stripped down and put together again in the last season. But
what was that? The Jawas.
Yeah, the Jawas stripped it, and then he like even my sensei who's like vegan, he was like no those Jawas, they had their karma. Like if you strip down so apparently if somebody stripped down my sensei's car and he murdered all of them from like a sniping position,
he wouldn't feel bad.
That's their I don't Sensei, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry, please don't hit me too hard next sparring day.
Philip, we know you don't listen to this.
He's gonna hit you very hard.
Is it weird when you say, I know you don't listen to this to someone you think isn't listening to this?
I mean, like, eventually we want him to hear at least one episode.
Preferably this one.
Oh, God damn it. Okay, but no, that was... listen, I thought that was just interesting, his take on that. So, but no, so back to it. He's in the cave, and this is where we learn, like, the frog lady is pretty badass, actually, in her own way, right?
Yeah, she's able to. What did she do? She's able to like rewire
the
one
murder
of those
droid from the last
droids so that she can use it as a universal translator.
Yeah, because all she's speaking the whole time is like croaking, like. She doesn't have the vocal cords for basic. And so she guilt trips him. Is like, I thought the Mandalorians were like honorable and held to their deal.
They followed a code.
And you can just see.
I guess you're not that kind of a Mandalorian. And he was like, God damn it.
And you can see, Pedro Pascal like is a pretty good actor because you could see just through the armor, like him go like, yeah, you're right. Here we go.
Along those lines, so we know that last season, Pedro Pascal, for the most part, wasn't actually physically on set because he had other filming commitments, and so the stunt double did most of it, and it was actually like John Wayne's grandson or something.
Cool.
But second season he actually is like more on set, so it is very likely that was actually Pedro Pascal.
And maybe you can see that because there's a lot of emoting going on and stuff, so who knows.
And so they're on the ice planet, and I guess he's having to fix the ship again, right?
Yeah, once more, and Baby Yoda's just kind of wandering around.
Wandering off.
Meanwhile, we've literally watched this child devour like 10 of this woman's
like future
eggs.
Lineage. Like,
I think they made it fun. Like the eggs are like way bigger than his mouth.
So they just kind of
so they kind of just get sucked into his mouth, and he just kind of swallows
like a
them
void.
Yep.
It's like, how does he fit the whole thing into his tiny mouth?
Yep. And at a certain point, he looks for the frog lady, and she found a hot spring.
She found a hot spring.
It's like an anime episode where you have the obligatory hot springs episode, except you don't want to see the frog lady naked.
Yeah, but she could be hot.
For frog people, yeah, she could be like a knockout.
She could have a nice frog rack. We don't know.
Frog rack.
And
she's got her eggs all spread out there,
floating in the hot spring, and then the Mandalorian.
Because she's an amphibian. She's literally freezing. She needs the warmth.
I fully get that. I'm not. It's just a funny image.
Yeah, and then I wonder if the Mandalorian was kind of like
turned on.
Like if there's any sexual tension between the frog lady.
No, I think he's into humans a little bit more.
And she's married too, by the way. We find out.
He saw her and was like, bam, pow, got it.
Was not funny to me, but it was grossed her out. So, but her face made me laugh.
Okay.
But Baby Yoda, he's just going off on his own, and eventually he finds another egg.
More eggs, and these are the wrong eggs.
Because Mando's because Mando was like, no. And he like that's every child's response to being told no is,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
Then he like opens up an egg and eats like a tiny little spider.
Yeah, and these spiders they've been seen in Star Wars before, and they just
really?
respond. Yeah, they respond to your energy, and this was in like Rebels, where like the blind Jedi had to like he was like, no, these things are evil. It's like no, just don't be a dick to them, and they'll leave you alone.
Except the child was a dick.
The child was a dick and ate one of its babies.
Murdered one. He murdered a baby.
Yeah, and I liked it because once the frog chick saw what was going on, I thought like, okay, this frog is naked in a hot springs in an ice cave, but then she whips out that tongue and gets her clothes.
With the tongue, yeah.
And there's more like hip fire blasting as they run away from the giant spider and all the baby spiders.
When we watched it, I was like, okay, but Mando has fire. Why is he not literally lighting everything
and then
up?
they build up to that when he pulls out his gauntlet and here.
Burning them all with
And then you
fire.
see like that was a great choice there because you see like from like outside the cave, like you don't even see him, you just see the cave light up with the fire.
Yeah.
It was great. They almost escape in the Razor Crest. They like take off. It's like, listen, we just have to go, and the thing lands on it. And then the X-wing pilots, once again, it's like an episode of Cops, but with X-wing pilots. They show up again.
Yeah.
I like to picture that like there's like a space van behind them with like a camera crew. Yeah, listen, this Mandalorian, he was he's wanted, but he did some good stuff for us too. He saved some guys and brought some guys to justice, and these are trying times, so we're gonna let him go.
They're
We're
like,
gonna take the law into our own hands.
they're like, yeah, we're not gonna help you, but you get that transponder working, or we're not gonna hesitate to shoot this antique down.
Right? It's literally like a cop telling you, like, listen, I'm gonna let you off with a warning this time.
But if I see you again,
I'm
gonna put you in a headlock, and I'm probably gonna choke you out.
Oh
yeah. And that is episode
2
of Mando. Listen, it's not my favorite one, honestly, especially compared to the next episode we're going to talk about.
I liked that episode because while some people thought it was kind of like filler, I think it really shows kind of parenthood, raising a child, what it's like to be trying to provide for a future generation living in this world, this universe that they're in, this galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's actually a little bit more poignant
I can appreciate that.
than a lot of people.
And also his past good deeds come back to like benefit him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that. But for me personally, compared to like what comes up in this next one, I was like, like that. When I watched that one by itself, I was like, this is good. But then the next one came out, I was like, oh my God, no.
Yeah.
I think episode 2 was more about character development for the child and for Mando.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing the child is not just inherently, we kind of already saw that a little bit in the first season, but it's not just good and it's not bad. It has, base instincts and it needs to be guided.
Yeah, he's meant to be raised by like these wise beings, like these Yodas.
In touch with the Force.
But like he's being raised by Mandalorian.
By what we learn in the next episode is a religious zealot. Like if you were to like categorize what you find out about this guy, like put him into an Earth category, he's like the uncle that shows up with like a MAGA hat at the Thanksgiving table, apparently.
No,
is what you find out. Like
he's not. I wouldn't go that far.
He's a religious fundamentalist. Like I would.
I mean, okay. So let's get into that.
Yeah. So he limps to like this planet with the frog lady, and I love the landing sequence because it's like like even though he's like he like they go through the atmosphere and it's all shaky and they're like, oh God, okay, we're hovering above it, and the engine cuts out and they dump into the water.
You thought that the Razor Crest was pretty screwed up.
Oh
yeah, no. It gets worse.
That was a good scene. That made you laugh.
I did laugh.
Like you got Quarians and Mon Calamarians there, and you see the Mon Cala guy sitting there like, okay, this guy's a mechanic, and he's going to be working on this thing. I'm like, hey, it's good to see some Mon Calamarians.
What are the ones that looked like Davy Jones from
The
Pirates
Mon
of the Caribbean?
No, those are the Quarians, the ones with
Oh.
the tentacles.
Yeah.
Mon Cala are the ones that look like are the Admiral Akbar guys.
Oh, okay.
I looked
That's a
this up.
trap.
Sit there. It's like my rates for fixing your ship are a trap.
And then when one of those guys watches the ship like fall into the water, he doesn't really have much of a reaction. He just kind of looks at it, nods, walks away. He's like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this today.
This is above my pay grade.
Like, listen, this is not my job. I fix the ships. I don't fish them out of the drink.
I'm gonna take like a 60-minute lunch break, come back and deal with this.
It's like, yeah, no, I'm not doing the half-hour thing. I'm doing the full hour lunch break today.
So, the frog lady and her husband are reunited, and they direct Mando to go into the inn to talk to some people about where he can find fellow Mandalorians.
Before that, before we get to that,
you want to talk about the brief glimpse?
Not the brief glimpse. Oh yeah, there's the brief glimpse, and so you know something's up. This was the chick people confused with
Ahsoka Tano.
With
we
Ahsoka
thought
Tano.
it was
And
Rosario
the actress
Dawson.
who we think is going to play her, and there was a bit of drama about that. Who people can't tell like women of color apart.
Yeah.
So good for you.
We already knew that.
That was actually
What did you do?
No one touched anything. It's that one.
that one's plugged in.
Victor.
This one's plugged in.
Victor.
Why are you saying my name like that?
Oh, you didn't hit the button. Didn't I? You have to hit the button.
Okay, so I have to plug it in and hit the button?
That I didn't tell you to hit the button. I didn't tell you to hit, but you should have known you have to hit the button.
You mean the thing that's sitting right next to you this entire time? That you didn't happen to look at to double
I
check?
thought he hit the button. I count on people to do the job correctly. I'm sorry if I expect a certain level of confidence in things I didn't tell you about.
A certain level of ESP.
Yeah.
Looks like it's
Mind
still
reading.
recording. I can see a red light on the front.
Wait, is that from? No, it's charging. That's why. Okay, you're just not gonna have your own camera again.
It's fine.
Okay.
We've got plenty recorded.
Look, it's a 7-Eleven like connector cable, so maybe that's why.
Anyway,
We've got this great, glorious angle.
We do have this glorious, this tremendous angle.
Tremendous.
It's tremendous.
so anyway, we're talking about.
Oh yeah, no, he gets the meal of chowder. It's like
Oh yeah,
and I like that because it wouldn't be a Mandalorian episode unless he killed some of the local fauna. So like the thing comes out of the baby Yoda's head, like statue's head. He just stabs it.
there's just a light tap
Just a
with
light
with
tap.
the point of his dagger.
A very light stabbing.
It's just like a little.
It's like don't play with her food. Don't play with her food. I like that. What if I did that? If your calamari was still alive, and I just took my pocket knife out of my pocket and then like deployed it and then thrust it at your face. Oh, nice. Oh, did you land it in my drink?
Did I?
No, thank Christ. I still would have drank
No.
out of it.
What'd you do?
I flicked it. I don't know where it went. Anyway, so he gets directed to a Quarian.
Yeah, to a Quarian that goes over there, and it's like your basic Star Wars scene where do you get information? The local bar,
Right.
and there's like I'll take you to the Mandalorians. It'll cost you, and you'll have to be on my ship. And this is like when Superman has to get taken out of a fight, he just gets punched really far away. But this is like with the Mandalorian ship. Like every time it's like I'll shoot the crate dragon with my ship. Nope, it can sense vibration. Crap. It's like okay, I can fly to them. Nope, my ship's getting fixed.
He needs to get some upgrades to his ships so that he doesn't have to like.
Or
be
just get a
stuck.
decent ship, a non-pre-Clone Wars.
He's got like lots of. He's upgraded to like the all Beskar steel armor.
He's literally wearing money.
He's got the original his Boba Fett's armor.
He's got a special unlockable.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, but no,
Anyway.
what I like about this is the shipping thing. Like when they're all on this like future like fishing boat, and I just pictured like Deadliest Catch Quarian edition.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You said like what if they were on Earth and it's like, oh yeah, that's the Quarian ship over there. They always do really well because they have a giant squid monster in their ship for some reason.
Did they? I thought it was just like they just happened to be over
Maybe
an area of those.
No,
squid
that was-
it's like their pet.
It's for some
that's
reason
weird.
part of their fishing like endeavor is something they have to feed and also transport with them. I'm not sure how this business model works.
I thought it was funny that they are like fish, but then they like
They
catch
also
fish.
Well, hey, the sharks
They're
eat
squids,
fish,
but then they're eating squids
right?
at
Well,
the restaurant.
Okay, well, sharks eat fish. Okay, it's not like that weird. It's not like you eating another person. That's racist or speciesist, bro.
That's more like cannibalism.
No, it's not cannibalism because if you eat a monkey, that's not cannibalism. It's
But if I eat a human, it's cannibalism.
Yes, but yeah, if you eat a human, but is like a squid the same as a quarian?
Kind of. I guess, but you know,
but then again, but then that's back to you eating like a monkey.
yeah, I don't eat a monkey still though.
Yeah, but would you sit there and have like the same thing, like, oh no, or would you just go like, it's a weird, but if I'm really hungry, I'll eat the monkey. That's the question.
I don't think I would eat any sort of simian.
No simian protein.
Yeah, ape-like creature. What are they called? What are we?
Simians.
No, what's the other word?
Hominid.
Homo sapien.
Apian. Ape.
Homo?
Apian.
Homo sapien? No,
Yeah.
no, Homo sapien.
Homosexual.
Hominid.
Oh,
Hominid?
Yeah.
Primate's the word I was looking for.
Did y'all know that the Quarians and the Mon Calamarians are from the same planet?
Oh yes, because I watched Clone Wars.
Yeah, they're both from Mon Cala.
Which this now kind of ties into Clone Wars way more as of this episode.
Because we find out when the child and Mando get pushed into
They get betrayed.
the maw
Surprise.
of this giant squid monster in the middle of the fishing boat.
Yeah, surprise. He gets betrayed by his ride.
Right.
Yeah, because he's wearing gold.
He's literally like, if I wore $100 bills as armor.
Yeah.
They're like, we finally are going to get all that Beskar steel. And then they know that, you know, they took a hunch that Baby Yoda means a lot to him.
Yeah. Well,
So, like, I bet if we throw this into the monster, he'll dive after
look, if you had a kid in a stroller with you, it wouldn't be that big of a stretch to think like that kid's important to you.
I guess so. Huh? I
And
guess that's true.
He does not like hesitate to dive in when he kicks. It's like, we didn't feed the thing today, so we're gonna kick, and he just knocks it in there, and that thing immediately eats Baby Yoda. And that's the sad thing is like what's his name's like floating crib gets broken during this.
The child.
No, who made the thing?
Who made what?
Who did make it?
The I Have Spoken guy. What's the actor's name?
Oh,
Something.
I don't know, but it was sad.
We'll
because
put it up on the screen.
But it was sad because that was like the last like tie we had to him, and it got all messed up. But the other Mandalorians did show up.
Yeah, those were
led by
Oh yeah,
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan, and she again from Rebels. Yes.
Queel is who made the
yes.
thing. So Spike, do you know who plays the other female?
The other female? No, I do not know her name.
She's credited as Mercedes Varnado, and I looked it up.
Yeah.
And he could not guess who it was, which is hilarious because
she looked very familiar.
he thought it could be a variety of different people, and we discovered that the actress is the same one who plays Sasha Banks for the WWE.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's Sasha Banks from wrestling.
It's the boss.
That's the one who everyone
boss.
thought was Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
Well, they do kind of have a similar.
a very slight.
appearance.
But once you have a screenshot of her, you can
No,
side
yeah,
by
they
Put
side.
them face by face or side by side and look at their two faces, and it's like,
okay, no, there's difference.
Yeah, that's like there's a lot of differences there.
Yeah, they're it's not like they're Asian. Okay, come on.
wow.
Boom.
It's not like they're two white guys.
What? Whoa. Are you okay, Vic?
There's alcohol in my lungs.
Listen,
That's not good.
I'm really getting like a taste of your racism now, and I really don't like it.
Our racism.
Yeah, look,
You're like they're like the typical like what do they call it, like white fragility, where it's like it's not funny if it's about white people.
it really is not. Like, look,
you know what? You've crossed the line.
You've
with
really
the
crossed the
white
line
jokes.
with that one. Look, look. At least there are billions of Asians. Okay, there's only like a few 100 million of us. Okay,
True.
we're the minority. We're the minority.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
No, I'm just fucking Jesus Christ. Okay, no.
Jeez.
But
So
if you're living on Earth and you're a human being, you're probably Chinese.
most likely your name is Chen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here.
Oh,
Wow,
God.
this took a turn.
Why?
Where's my MAGA
Well, I'm
hat?
just saying. No, it's true though. If you're a human on Earth, you're probably living in China.
I mean, listen. It's like that thing where like that one post like I was talking about like, if you get paid $10 million but you have to live five years like in a random place, most likely you're gonna die because like 70% of the earth is covered in water.
Oh, you taking it that seriously?
If it just said randomly, so if it said like you get dropped off at a random place, literally there's like at least a 70% chance you could die. If you add like the Antarctic, now we're up to like what, 75?
So it said any random place on Earth?
It didn't say like a random house or a random country. It said a random place.
Yeah, most of Earth is not inhabitable.
You would be dead within 24 hours. Is that worth $10 million?
What if I had the? Do they give me the $10 million first?
You have to survive in this place before you can earn the $10 million.
You're trying to pay like a rat some money. You find me some food.
They literally give you $10 million in hundreds. They throw it on you and then dump you in the ocean.
Anyway,
okay, no,
so he gets rescued by these 3 people in Mandalorian armor, and he's all super stoked. And then they take off their helmets, and he's like, "Who are you? You're not Mandalorians."
Where did you get that armor? He does the same thing he does with Sheriff Cobb. Is where did you get that armor? And he's like, no, we're Mandalorians. I'm from Mandalore. I fought in the wars. It's cool. I'm OG. And he's like, no, wait, but what?
And you took your helmets off.
Yeah, and so this is where you find out. Yeah, he's part of a fundamentalist, like hardcore religion. Like, and when he says that, I was like, oh, he's one of them.
They're like, dank Ferrick.
And so she has to explain. And really, like the one weird thing I have about the actress who plays the redhead. I'm sorry, I'm spacing.
Katie Sackhoff.
Yeah. She's kind of
Starbuck.
She's a little She's a little wooden in this because you see how she enunciates everything. I'm not sure if that's an acting choice, but it kind of popped me out of it, where she was like describing the sect he's from and how he's a religious zealot and like you've been lied to or at least like kept in the dark your whole life.
Maybe she's just really sick and tired of this religious bullshit.
Maybe I'm not sure, but
so she's like,
I've seen her.
You're part of a cult. And this is not the way anymore.
But no, if you watch that scene where she's explaining it to him, and then watch like any episode where she's like a prominent feature in like Battlestar Galactica, it feels like maybe like they gave her some weird directions or something. I don't know, but the way she delivers those lines, like every other part of the episode, she's good in. It's just that one part where she's like really enunciating and stuff. I'm not sure what the point is of that.
Yeah. But I mean, I think something also important to note is that Bo-Katan is also a child of the Watch. She's just, grown up and experienced a little bit more of the world and, the way things have changed. And he was saying that Mandalore is, trash now. And she's like,
there's only one way.
She's like, no, Mandalore is actually not everything that you've heard it is anymore.
Yeah, like there's only one way, and this is not the way. But then he flies off like in a huff with the baby and underarm, and I don't know, so maybe those were good acting choices. For me personally, that bumped me. That's the only like bad acting part I can think of in this, or maybe not even bad, but it wasn't like totally immersive for me.
Yeah, it took you out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
Some things, take you out of it.
So then more of the Quarians show up, like, you killed my brother. It's like, well, he was going to try and murder me.
And then the 3 Mandalorians, and she's like, I killed your brother.
Yeah, I'm the one who murdered him.
Let's throw hands.
Yeah.
When he said that, I was like, well, they all kind of look the same. Like, which one of
this is the most racist episode we've ever done.
Well, these ones actually do all look the same.
They're all the
this
same.
This one is actually objective.
The same VFX guy probably did all their makeup. You're right. It's cool.
I was expecting Mandalorian to say like, okay, so which one of you guys was it?
So wait. Which one was your brother? Was it the one squid guy, the other squid guy, or the third? I don't know which squid guy it was.
Well, you've got like 6 of your brothers that are still alive. Be happy about that.
And who are these
you
guys?
Can't lose
like, those
one.
Aren't my brothers. Those are they're from completely different countries.
Yeah. Okay.
In this planet.
Okay. Actually, everyone here is actually related to me. That's my cousin. That's my nephew. That's my father. It's like, you look the same age.
It's like, and actually, I've got a couple of clones. Like those 2 guys are my clones.
Literal clones.
So
they murk all those guys.
Yeah.
And they say, "Let me buy you a drink," and then she brings him in on the heist.
Which he originally didn't want any part of it.
He's like, he says, "I've been quested more in this episode than most other." He keeps saying it like, "I've been quested. I've been quested. I have been quested, bitch. Jesus Christ."
Been quested.
It's like, okay, look, if you help me get these guns, I'll tell you where we can find some Jedi, and she would know.
He wanted to look for Jedis.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he needs to get the child to the Jedi.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a Force child.
The Force sensitive. They're a Force sensitive.
How did you learn about that? Did I miss this part?
The Forge Master from the last season was like, no, this creature comes from a race or comes from a sect of Jedi.
It's like, oh, okay.
And
because he's a Mandalorian.
And if you ever bother to watch the goddamn Clone Wars, you can see how she would know that,
All right,
but you haven't watched any of it.
I'm not going to watch the Clone Wars.
You should. It's great. The last season is like the non final Clone Wars bits are kind of weak, but like but no, the part where they actually like get down to brass tacks with Anakin and the final like Order 66 is phenomenal.
Did they have to put like a disclaimer before every Mandalorian? It's like, you have to watch the Clone Wars before you watch
Well,
this.
that's the weird thing about how the media landscape is now. It's like, if you want to like fully enjoy like the Avengers, you have homework. And if you want to like enjoy like this series, you have to have watched Clone Wars fully in order to fully enjoy it. It's kind of weird.
So they go on this raid on this Empire ship.
On they raid a Gozanti class cruiser, which can be modified to hold TIE fighters, but this one is a cargo version.
And then I don't know why I didn't notice it earlier, but I just realized in this episode how similar the Empire guys look like to Nazis.
Yeah, that was their whole thing. Like
that was literally the intention.
Whether or not you like Lindsay Ellis, she has a good look or a good take on how they look, how Disney is like using technically Nazi like aesthetic for like, you know, their profit, and like how they have like the First Order marching through and they're like even more hardcore, like looking like Nazis than before. Especially if you watch the movie and he's doing like a Nazi-esque speech, like, "They will know our name." And like, you know, General Hux is sitting up there doing like an impassioned, yelly speech.
So Bo-Katan is talking about how she needs to find this one thing that's allegedly on this cruiser.
Yep.
And doesn't say what it is, but if you have watched Rebels and you've seen what happened in the last season of this show, you know most likely what it is.
The Dark Saber.
Yes. And so they are like battling through the ship, and they get to this point where it's like there's no way they're going to get through because they just have like automatic blasters.
Yeah, they got a squad automatic blaster there. Like, I love. Oh no! Before we get to that, like they get in there, they jet up to the cruiser. They effect entry, and they like get in there. Like, okay, we've trapped them. Where'd you trap them? In the
it was like the cargo control.
The cargo control unit.
And he's like, okay, where?
Where? The cargo control. Whoosh, and they all get
jettisoned.
I guess they figured out how to use that technology really quickly. They're not dumb.
Yeah, they're not dumb. They're just shooty.
And so they get to the point where they're going up against stormtroopers with automatic blasters, and you know they're kind of stuck. And Mando's like, "Cover me!" And he pulls out two little like bombs,
thermal detonators or something.
And that's when I realized he's the only one
with good
that's
Beskar.
wearing like actual straight up hardcore Beskar steel for armor.
They have
so he can get a lot closer to blaster fire and not die than they can.
This is where you find out like a solid like 70% of his combat ability is literally like
relying on his Beskar.
Really good armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you realize like even though he is wearing like $100 bills, it's like bulletproof $100 bills.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like if Han Solo relied on like armor like that, he would not be that cool because he's like a gunslinger. He just doesn't get shot.
Okay.
But wouldn't this kind of be demonstrative of the fact that Han Solo likely was at least a little bit force sensitive, like subconsciously?
Yeah, I've heard of that. There are some theories about that, yes.
So that's why he was so good at avoiding dying, except for when it, came to his son. But Mando
too soon.
seems not actually really to be force sensitive much, if at all, because he does have to rely on his Beskar.
That's true, but also remember those other Mandalorians that who knows how sensitive they are, and they're pretty badass, and they just know to take goddamn cover.
Yeah, they're just smart.
Well, this is what I thought when they went into like the cargo control area, and then they found like a bunch of stormtrooper blasters, right?
And
was
some
like,
other ones too. It's like some pretty cool looking blasters as well. Like other ones, like custom stuff.
So I thought like, okay, this is like how stuck in my head like the meme of stormtroopers being bad shots is I thought like they can't use stormtrooper guns because I bet if like they don't shoot in straight lines. I bet like they go out like at a little like 9-degree angle or like a 5. They like, just go at a slight angle where like they have to miss.
It's like last generation's video games, like the Fallout 3 or Fallout 2, when you get like a gun and it's literally like there's like a cone it shoots in. Like they went to Bethesda for their like blasters, and it's like, well, listen, it's gonna shoot in this area here. So you want to be within like 30 inches of your target.
So like the guns, like it's like when you put like a piece of bubble gum on like a super soaker, it's just gonna shoot in whatever direction.
Yeah. And
I was like, don't use a stormtrooper blaster.
You fools! Don't.
I was like thinking that's why they suck. It's because the weapons.
Blasters.
Imagine being like a really bad shot and your blaster sucks. Wow, that would you're just set up for failure.
The laser, like the bolt, it's not even a laser. It's like the bolt comes out, then like oops around and shoots behind you. Like, wait, what?
It's like, imagine being like, in like Stormtrooper Academy, and it's like, why do our blasters always? This is like not even like exact. It's like a probability. Yes, there's a probability that you will hit your target.
Like the standards for marksmanship are just like, are you aiming the same direction as everyone else? It's like if you can't like face the same direction when shooting, you're back to you're one of those guys. You're not a stormtrooper. You're one of those guys with the snow shovel helmets. Sorry, guys.
Anyway, that's what I thought about. I was like, I bet their guns suck too.
Oh yeah, totally. And and we find out that while Armando is like pretty like fundamentalist apparently and kind of a dick, or at least an insufferable like religious zealot. At least he has more honor than these other like Mandalorians. Like she's like changing the deal halfway. It's like this. She's like, oh yeah, just get us into the gun room and we'll be fine. And then she's like, no, actually, we're taking the ship.
Does he always have to be double crossed?
By literally even his own people, technically.
Like every episode where like he teams up with someone, it's like I almost kind of like felt like predicted that like, oh, they're probably going to double cross him.
Yeah, at some point, like he's double crossed technically twice.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and just this episode, right?
And what's his face? Like he calls up. Just this episode. And what's his face calls up? What's his name again?
Moff Gideon.
Moff Gideon calls up and is like, "Oh, yeah, you've been taken over. They've taken the cargo hold. Well, it's time to commit ritualistic suicide. Well, not ritualistic, but time to commit like suicide, right?"
Yeah. So they do.
So he
murders. You know what to do.
And then you can see the pilot sitting there like, oh, come on, man. Like, no, I don't want to die. And they just shoots them both. It's like, well, time to crash the ship.
Yeah.
So they save the ship, and she's like, hey, listen, you can join us. It's like, no, I got to do the baby thing first.
Yeah. Got to raise the kid.
So he jumps out, and he left the baby with the frog people. And like, can you babysit while I go do a murder quest?
Yeah, that happened, and I was like, no.
But you knew
no.
Yeah, because he's looking at the eggs. But then you know it's going to be all right because like the baby hatches.
Yeah, and then
he was like helping.
Hopefully the thing, helping bathe it or something.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if it's a bathing thing or if it's like if you wanted to play with your child, you had to put him in a dish of water first. I don't know.
They're like saying like, so this is our child and he's in a dish of water and you can like play with him.
Like we also serve soup in this bowl.
I think that was showing that he understands the difference between an unfertilized egg
and a baby,
a frog that is just a frog and living its life that you can eat because it can just be food.
Yeah, and
a creature that
is going to be sentient at some point.
Is going to be sentient and has a little bit more of a purpose in the grand scheme.
I guess so. It's like the difference
because he didn't eat it.
It's the difference between eating like one of your unfertilized chicken eggs and like like finding a fertilized egg and then like murdering it, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, there are some countries that
Balut eggs.
Yeah,
Balut eggs. They
I
are
can't.
Like,
You
I
gotta
saw
do that on the podcast.
First time I saw it. No, never, ever. We will both fight you.
Yeah, I probably
Oh,
will.
and
Can you imagine like the little foot hanging out your mouth?
Oh. And then there's like fur, and then there's like the beak.
There's no fur; it's just feathers.
Yeah,
Feathers.
Birds don't have fur, dude.
They do duck balut, and you can also do chicken balut, I believe.
There's too much going on in that. Like, there's too much detail. I don't like when there's that much detail on my food. I want my food to be simple. When there's like that much detail going on, I'm like, no.
How you doing over there?
Enough. I'm good. I'm so.
This food is. That's all I'll say. Is like, this food is too detailed.
Nope, done. Okay, I'm muting you both.
But you know what I thought would be funny is when he picked up the child and he like left. If it showed like the incubator and there's like no eggs left, like it looked like Baby Yoda was like learning, but then it's like nope, he didn't.
Nope, he ate all.
He's
the
like,
babies.
I could eat them before they hatch, though, right?
Right,
It's
that's
before there's.
And so it turns out I like this. It ends with like the Mando getting like screwed over by a mechanic. Like, I gave you 1,000 credits. What the hell? And he's like, he literally just bolted a bunch of crap to it to make it kind of space worthy.
But like the dude literally had 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell do you expect?
He had an afternoon to fix it. Well, because he gave it the money, but then you see him like scouting the job on his ship, and it's still not fixed. Like, where did he order this metal from?
And was there like
It was just laying
spider
around.
webs or something in
There
there?
was like a
or,
whole bunch
It
of
was
netting in
net.
there.
netting.
Because Mon's sitting like, oh, freaking Mon Calamari. It's like, again, some more racism. He's gone from like from droid racism to like just Mon Calamari racism.
And all of the other
Calamari.
things that he said kind of in passing.
Yeah, and so then there's like this weird like carnivorous starfish like moving around, and you like that was the kind of badass when he like reached around, just grabbed it blind,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it ended with Baby Yoda eating that thing,
I was kind of expecting the child to
like force
like
eat
do it himself. But I was kind of disappointed.
a little disappointed. I was cool with how it turned out myself. That didn't pop me.
He still needs protecting. He's still
Yeah.
not like a Jedi yet, you know.
Not a full Jedi. And they say like, oh yeah, that's one of the things. Like, okay, go like, what's the redhead says? Go to this planet, ask for Ahsoka Tano, and my like nerd boner just went. "Rah!"
That was a little too much.
Oh, hey, listen, tell that to my computer that almost spilled off my lap because of my nerd boner.
Wow.
It's disgusting.
Anyway.
Can you
no,
can you turn your own sound down, please?
That's a perfectly natural thing. Don't say it.
Well, you know what? I think that like that last episode is really a good episode.
I really
great.
like that episode. And the man, like you can see, like the Empire still has like some clean ships around.
Yeah.
Remember the
Yeah.
last season, like they showed like a bunch of like dirty ass like stormtroopers.
Yeah, and they still got some clean ones.
Still got some clean
Hanging
ones.
out
That's
with
interesting. That they're
what's
not
his name?
They're not completely like dead. I guess they're gonna evolve into like the first
Wait,
order.
what was that guy's? That guy was the captain of
Ver-
the ship.
I forget.
Which captain of what ship?
The captain of the Gazanthi cruiser.
I don't know what his name was.
Gazanti. But I've seen him before and stuff.
He's been in a lot of things.
I haven't seen him.
He's in Bosch. He was in.
Yeah, he was.
He was in some
I just remember he had like a really dark
Deadwood.
tan. He's a very tanned man.
Are you gonna look it up?
Yeah. So it was Bosch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was the heavy or not the heavy, but the protagonist of Bosch, or Bosch.
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 The
Yes.
actor's name is Titus Welliver,
Titus Welliver.
and he was the Man in Black in Lost. Silas Adams in Deadwood, Jimmy O'Fallon in Sons of Anarchy, and also in Bosch. So I definitely saw him in Sons of Anarchy, and I also saw him in Deadwood as Silas.
Oh wait, I just got a text from somebody who's complaining about their job, so I'm going to show them I'm at my technical job. All right, everyone. Wait,
I gotta flip it.
I gotta flip.
Hey, what's
Wait, no, it's not going to work like that. There we go.
Transmit podcast? We're interrupting the podcast for this picture.
Do it. Wait, there we go. I look drunk there.
Well,
I've only had soy sauce.
well.
God, you look.
This dude's been married 5 times too. It's interesting.
Dang, you guys are learning a lot about this actor.
Yeah, hey, listen, this guy, like I saw him and I'm like, who is that guy? But I was too busy playing Dead Space, so I wasn't gonna do anything.
We should talk about Dead Space in the next.
Oh, that's a great game. Listen,
next pod.
You want to play that game? I got
possibly.
Okay, good. Just buy them and then buy an
Maybe
Xbox
not.
360. And
You just talk about it, and I'll just be like,
you just
reacting.
nod.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Really? Well, no, actually, we could play it. I got them. So no, okay. But that's kind of where that ends. And let me tell you, this was a really good episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're excited for
liked it. And seeing Ahsoka Tano. She's probably in what, her 20s or 30s now, so she's like legal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
As opposed to pining over an animated character.
Okay, listen. Shut up, but also shut up.
And that's
such a
do it for the
weeb.
Transmit podcast.
Okay, you know what? Okay, wait, hang on. Where's the?
I'm Samantha.
I'm Victor.
I'm Spike, and you know what? No, I don't care. Listen, I'd bang Ahsoka Tano.
He's a weeb.
In her 20s.
Weeb.
This has really loosened you up, man.
Yeah, soy sauce is great. Listen, let me tell you, Kikkoman's is a really good soy sauce.
Yeah.
The salt really brings it out.
And we'll be back next
time.
week for another action-packed adventure
With Beyond Pizza.
through pop culture and Star Wars.
Hopefully.